Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Saad, and this is Rafi and Junaid. So, the story is that we are all former colleagues, friends, and we used to work at this place. I'm still stuck there. Yeah. And so we are the lunch group. So we used to hang out at lunch, and we used to have our coffee breaks. And the one thing that we connected over was Formula One. We all have this love for Formula One. So we decided, hey, why not just make a podcast out of this? And so here we are. Guys, just quickly tell it about yourself.
All right. So I'm Rafe. This was a crazy coincidence because I was working and nobody really watched F1 at the office except for this one guy, but he was in a different team. And then Saad joins the team, and I see him wearing McLaren merch. And I was like, wait a second, does this guy? And I was like, wait, are you like a Formula One? And he's like, yeah. And then we started talking about, and then I was like, why are you wearing a McLaren merch? Because I was like, I don't really like McLaren that much. But then turns out, he has a friend at McLaren who gave him the shirt. But we turned out we were both Max Verstappen
free merch is
fans.
free merch.
Free merch is free merch.
Yeah,
turns out we were both Verstappen fans. And then, Junaid here, he was sort of like the robust guy in the group, in our office group.
You know what?
We could hand him a task and he would get it done. We could trust him with it. So we were like, why not get him into Formula One with us?
Yeah, I still remember the first time when Rafe was watching some kind of a Grand Prix race. So there was a pit stop, and I really loved how they changed the tires. The sound was so pleasing to the ear. And this guy, Rafe, is the main motivation. I mean, I really loved watching Formula One.
Yeah, that's really fancy words just to say I was the biggest slacker, and I would be watching races instead of working. And Junaid was like, "Oh, what is this? Ye kya dekh rahe ho?" And I'm like,
It looks like a computer game to me at that time.
I was like, bro, मैं तुम्हें बताता हूँ ये Formula One है.
That was the start of a new friendship, and
I think having the background of a mechanical engineering.
I'm really going to stop you there real quick. Just a bit of a background. So, fortunately or unfortunately, we're all engineers. I'm an aerospace engineer. Janae's a mechanical engineer, and Rafa here is currently doing his master's from the UK.
I will be an aerospace engineer master's soon.
Yeah, very cool. So we may know a thing or two about what we're talking about, actually. So
just a bit. And I do have an insider. One of my professors, actually, he works for Aston, and he's a big shot in the experimental testing in motorsport in general. So I ask him from time to time about a bunch of stuff. So questions that you can't normally find answers to.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd be surprised. There's crazy amount of information on Google, and just teams will give you because they all spy on each other. So stuff eventually just kind of ends up out there.
Mm-hmm. Hey, maybe we can bring him in someday. If this goes,
why not?
That would be hard to manage. But if this thing becomes big, if we hit a big milestone, maybe I'll ask him.
Here's to hoping, man. Here's to hoping. Yeah.
So I think that's good enough introductions. I think we're not gonna keep this strictly formal. We're gonna switch between Urdu, English. Hum bilingual hai. I think we're targeting bilingual audience. So Pakistani style के अंदर English, Urdu दोनों mix. Whatever's comfortable in the moment. जो कुछ बातें उर्दू में बेहतर की जाती हैं.
चीजें उर्दू में ठीक हैं. बाकी just this is a podcast, so if you're on your commute, bus office जा रहे हो, कहीं भी जा रहे हो, you're on the bus, you're walking, you're taking a walk, or probably driving. Have a listen. Maybe you'll enjoy three friends going on about Formula One. Hey, and if you are excited about it, then hey, joining.
And if you're like stuck in traffic in Islamabad highway, which I used to be every day, I feel like, this is the perfect thing to listen to.
Yeah.
So I
Especially
think,
जब आप कश्मीर हाईवे और वो जिस एक्सप्रेस वे पे
you know,
फंस रहे हैं आप
when you join Islamabad highway and then it's just like
Yeah.
blockage complete,
Hmm.
that's very far from Formula One. That's the worst you can imagine.
Especially अभी it's being chaotic nowadays क्योंकि अभी हालात भी खराब हुए हैं
हाँ, पेट्रोल भी महंगा हो रहा है,
पेट्रोल भी महंगा हो
खत्म
गया
हो गया है,
I think मेरे
खत्म
ख्याल
हो रहा है.
से गाड़ी में तो कम ही लोग सुनेंगे. Hey, if
So,
if
you know,
you're
like,
on your
if you're
bike,
walking,
cycling to work, listen to us.
if you're cycling to work, ठीक है, like, so, just put your headphones in and listen.
yeah
Okay, let's talk about some Formula One guys.
First of all, I think let's start with the 2026 cars. What do we got?
Yeah.
And then let's move to the races. So, Rafa, go ahead.
Formula One Battery Management Championship.
These cars they were hyped up to be, shorter wheelbase. Like they were gonna, like, closer racing, less downforce, less the ground effect errors over, all of that, no more DRS, except they basically gave everyone DRS. So it makes and then they took away the curves, which was really, like, I mean, it is still curves. I mean, the curves is still there. I think they took out the MGUK, the kinetic, and or it's one of the MGU. I don't remember the name.
MGUH. It's MGUH.
MGUH, yeah, the excess heat one, yeah. And these cars just like, dude, like, they turn, like, what's the word? Range panic. There's a word, the range panic. When you're panicking, fuel khatam to nahi ho jayega mere.
Feels more like Formula E now. Like when वो Formula E को अपनी जगह रहने
It's
लगा.
battery management simulator now.
Yes.
Like,
I mean, the real motor racing is passing under braking. When you are managing the speed and you have a correct entry to the corner. I feel like जो अभी रेसिंग चल रही है इसमें ज्यादा बैटरी डिप्लॉयमेंट कहाँ पे आप करते हैं तो it feels like a computer game to me. The yo-yo overpasses.
I think Melbourne
there's a skill ceiling to it, like, knowing when to harvest, when to deploy. I get that, but then it's the whole, like, the overtake thing, and, like, you just get a bit more deployment. But
I think track to track vary करेगा.
It's going to vary a lot.
In a lot of tracks, it's not going to be really exciting. I think it's going to be fairly predictable. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see how things pan out. Like
and like the super clipping,
the super clipping sucks, man.
Like the sound, it's very jarring. Like on a straight, a Formula One car starts losing speed and the revs are going down.
Yeah. It's really sad and embarrassing to see that the Formula One car is slowing down on the straight and losing up to like 60 kilometers per hour. It's insane.
And like we can sit here and talk about this. But like when the drivers themselves are saying that these are some of the least fun cars to drive, like, Lando was crying about, like, oh, we get paid so much, like, why is he complaining? And then, like, the first weekend after, Lando was immediately like, these are the worst. We went from some of the best to the worst.
Yeah.
Like,
and McLaren is going to say that they had an absolute rocket ship last year. So
he figured it out pretty quickly, isn't it?
Yeah. And like, Saad, what do you think about, like, Max's? He keeps joking about, like, Mario Kart, but I think
I get the feeling Max is going to leave us.
He might, but I don't think he will. He says he's staying. They're going to work something out. They're working with management.
I hope the FIA
I think watching his passion. Yeah, I think watching his passion towards the GT3 racing, I think now he's also participating in the Nürburgring 24 hours.
He's all set for 24 hours. I think that's going to be more fun to watch.
He's finally driving a Mercedes.
Yeah. Speaking of different cars, Did you see the Ferrari race suits for China? They're so bad.
Yes. They're like they're paying homage to Red Bull.
Never-
Just
Not
like it's-
complimentary.
and what is Ferrari doing, man? Why are they doing this?
I don't know what Ferrari's on about. Okay, so I think
Every time when we think about the Ferrari, Ferrari can fight back. The Ferrari strategists be like, hold my disaster class.
Ferrari जो है ना ये देखो, put your hopes in Ferrari and you're in for some disappointment.
Yeah.
This is starting to be very similar to 2022 regs when Ferrari came out the door punching, double Red Bull DNF in their first weekend. It was like, oh bro, like Ferrari finally made a car that's fast. And then strategy wise, they lost so many points to Leclerc
Yep.
in that one season. And then like Red Bull development just took off. And
Hamilton भी बोल रहा था कि यार bring me in, man, for God's sake. That was stupid. That was stupid.
so, but let's address the elephant in the room, Mercedes.
Yeah.
That's a bona fide rocket ship, man. It's
So, guys, it's back to back to 2014, I guess, 2014 to 2020. P1, P2. It's a Mercedes 1-2. Get used to
1-2 again, 1-2 again.
the British national anthem and the German national anthem. Get used to it, guys.
Yeah, and it's
I'm sorry.
like Russell. Like Russell was like always Mr. Consistency. Like the does nothing P3 jokes. But he's like does nothing, has championship winning car.
Even 2024 में जब उनकी कार इतनी अच्छी नहीं थी, then he still got, I guess, Singapore में he still won the race. Singapore में था ना?
Russell is super consistent,
Russell's
man.
consistent.
But I just hate him, man.
He's a bit of a diva. He has John Booch के ना वो टांग अड़ाता है, पंगे करता है. But like this season he has the car and the skill to back it up. So
Yep. The one thing that I'm really sad about is I think I'll be hitting less of the Dutch national anthem, man.
Yeah,
That's the Dutch
we'll
national
get there
anthem.
someday.
I
But,
gotta hear that.
but honestly, given preseason testing and what, like whenever they asked, interviewed Laurent and he was like, what's your pace? Where are you? Are you hiding something? They were very clear. They're not going to be fighting for wins at the start of the season. Cardi, like, it's in development still. They are learning, and I think it's best of the rest, kind of, no? Like
But
McLaren and Red Bull are going to be fighting, and I think Red Bull and Mercedes are going to be fighting, and then it's like the rest of the field.
I think but Mercedes is another league, so you can't.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be. But let's see. Let's see if the hot engine compression tests reveal anything. Toto is adamant it's not an illegal engine.
Yeah.
His smile, man. He's so happy whenever the camera cuts to him.
Bro, let's talk about Australia. What happened?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Melbourne, guys. क्या scene है?
Yeah,
Want to start with quali या क्या scene है?
Yeah, let's talk about quali a little bit. Because quali is worth. I think. I mean, obviously, the biggest upset for us Max fans was the rear locking, which unfortunate, but that set us up for a very entertaining comeback. Okay, we'll come back to that.
Yeah,
I think for me, the most entertaining thing was like Antonelli, man. Like, kya kar raha? He was doing everything.
Yeah, Kimi's like a really likable driver. You can't just not like Kimi.
He's young. He has the energy. He has the skill. It was so entertaining. He jumped through so many hoops, and then that Mercedes is so fast. He still ended up P2.
Yeah. I mean,
Heads up to his mechanics, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think Max kind of helped out a bit, with the red flag.
Kimi and Max have a bromance going on.
I saw that clip.
Yeah.
Baकी quali में क्या scene था? I think Adam McLaren did.
Hajar, man. Hajar P3. Like, can we talk like the Red Bull second seat? Okay, he did crash in the race. Not crash. His engine failed in the race.
Yeah.
That's whatever, but honestly, like Hajar has the skill to back up the Red Bull second seat. I think we might be seeing a proper Red Bull second driver. It's been so long.
Yeah, for once. I really hope he sticks around.
I think his driving style really suits these 2026 cars. बिकॉज वो प्रेफर करता है जो रेयर एंड पे थोड़ा लूज, ताकि गाड़ी को थोड़ा ओवर स्टीयर मिले।
Yeah.
2026 कार्स में मोर और लेस आपको इसी तरह की एक ड्राइविंग स्टाइल
They're a
चाहिए। द
little
कार्स आर
fast
मोर
and loose.
एजाइल,
Yeah.
द कार्स आर मोर एजाइल, दे हैव अ शॉर्टर व्हील स्पैन। तो आप इसी तरह के ड्राइविंग स्टाइल को अगर प्रेफर करेंगे तो यू आर गोना रूल दीज 2026 regulations.
Yeah, I think the knife edge car, it's not present right now because these cars are a lot less dependent on aero. It's more mechanical grip.
Mm.
Mhm.
So like the car isn't like, it's like trying to drive on skates. There's no like
Yeah.
very strong aero, like very sharp aero balance that you have to stay in the window for, maintain your loads. And I
Mm.
think that benefits everyone and has a higher skill ceiling because, you have to manage your tires a lot better. Like
Hmm.
everybody was struggling with tires. Well,
Yeah.
almost everybody.
I think Red Bull was
Not
doing
the
the
work tires.
bad tires too. I think Max ने पता नहीं कितनी बार pit किया है. Max pitted like 3 times, I guess. Huh?
Max was
Nice.
abusing his tires. They weren't broadcasting any of his messages in the race, but he had big graining.
Hmm.
And if you saw him chasing Lando, he was like the car was squirreling out of every exit.
Yeah.
I think
James-
I think Mercedes and Ferrari, since they were a bit more comfortable in their pace and they were running their own little, there were like big chunks of time in between. So I think they weren't pushing as heavily, but yeah, you could see it with Max and Lando.
Hmm.
Their tires weren't doing so well. Speaking of time, I hate the new telemetry. What do you mean there's only 1 decimal pace?
Yeah. Actually, frankly, मैंने इतना हुआ नहीं किया. That's something to look out to. I didn't
You
actually
can
look
only
at it.
see tenths now. You don't see hundreds or thousands in the. And it was really
See-
annoying me because the gap would just stay the same.
Yeah, see, guys, that's how you know you're talking to professionals here, man. Look at this guy.
Telemetry. I think quality. There's a few more things to talk about, like Audi. Like they're an established operation, Sauber, but good for them. They're coming into this like swinging in the midfield.
Yeah, engine solid.
Engine
solid.
Yeah. And
The aero is fine too, man.
Let's talk about Lindblad for a minute. Like the rookie on the block.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, there's no other rookie, so you can't compare him. But he's doing really well.
Only one, है ना? इस season में सिर्फ वही है ना rookie.
Yeah.
He's the only one. He's the only one. He's the only one.
I think he's decent, man. Like he was outperforming Lawson easily.
Bro, it's like I think
even in the race, he looks pretty feisty out there, you know?
Yeah,
he was looking to gain every position that he could. It reminded me of young Max Verstappen, isn't it?
Oh, young Max was like, like a danger to all those around.
Yeah, he was more than feisty, man.
Yeah,
he was dangerous.
He had that fire in him, but it was so funny to me. Like I was like, first race, debut race, as a rookie, and you're on like, I forget which lap it was, but like early laps, first half of the race, and then Max Verstappen breathing down your neck.
You don't want that. You don't want that.
The whole field got like the first race, and Max is just like breathing down everything. And it was honestly like very entertaining. But honestly, even if he qualified higher, he wouldn't have managed more than P5.
How do you think Oscar is looking right now? I feel like he's probably Oscar शायद उस level पे नहीं है जिस तरह like पिछले साल था. I don't know.
We'll see in China. We'll see in China, but I mean he just crashed before the racing was started.
Yeah.
So. I mean he qualified decent. He qualified P5, which was nice.
I think Oscar के साथ भी ना वाला home ground वाला ना curse.
Yeah, you could feel for the Australian crowd, man.
Monaco में नहीं कर पाता था. It's probably like the same thing for Oscar, but hey, maybe he'll win a race in a couple of years.
Yeah. So now I think race, like overall race, I don't know. It was entertaining, but Australia is a really easy to overtake on track. And you could just see, who had battery and who didn't.
I think
I
the
think, I
race.
think Shuru laps were a bit exciting because that was the
Yeah,
first time we were actually seeing these cars out on track or ki jo bhi capabilities thi.
Yeah,
It was nice. It was nice. It was nice for a while, but it
it
kind of
was.
reminded me.
Yeah, Junaid, what do you think? You're a relatively new watcher to the sport.
yeah. I don't buy the 8 place changes across the 8 laps a success story. I think I still think that it feels like a computer gaming. The first 15 laps were exciting, were epic, but when you watch Formula One, आपका यही होता है कि यार आप देखो रेस एक व्हील टू व्हील रेसिंग हो एंड इट्स नॉट ओनली अबाउट द बैटरी मैनेजमेंट बट कि ड्राइवर की स्किल टेस्ट हो एंड विद दीज रेगुलेशंस आई फील लाइक कि ड्राइवर की स्किल का इतना काम नहीं रहा इट्स मोर लाइक कौन अच्छा बैटरी मैनेज कर पाएगा किस कॉर्नर में आप कितनी रिचार्जिंग कर सकते हैं तो yeah the overtakes were all about managing the battery.
Yeah, it's annoying, right? Like when you're in a wheel-to-wheel fight, if you have to prioritize charging your battery over defensive moves, that gets in the way, right?
I guess no way.
Like
What
there's
would
other
you say?
sports that have battery management, right? Like I've watched WEC, World Endurance. Junaid has dabbled a bit in World Endurance. Like Junaid, like hypercar ke andar, like WEC hypercar ke andar, they're still doing battery management, right? They're doing quite a bit, but they
Yeah.
have a hybrid power system where it's their battery charge state varies across the lap, but they're never hitting zero.
Especially when you see the start, जहाँ पे अभी race start में both Russell and Kimi had 0% battery at the
Most of the
start.
grid had no battery.
Restart the casino. How is McLaren? How is Ferrari just flying?
They
I
just
think they
rain
have a
fast.
smaller turbo.
It just pools so fast.
They have a
Yeah.
smaller turbo, so they're able to, power
I
off
think,
the line.
they're always going to have an advantage now, no?
Little less turbo. Like, I don't know. Maybe, but I think the advantage, will bridge the gap. But yeah, no,
I think it's only the matter of time कि जब दूसरी team find out कर लेती है कि किस तरह इसको tackle करना है.
But will the Ferrari be reliable? We'll see.
I think Ferrari have a solid car, but I think, as always, they're just going to butcher the strategy. We're just going to let these guys down. I feel like they have a decent car.
The Italians are coming.
Look at
Very well said, man.
The flipping win is pretty good. I think they're bringing
Macarena
out
wing.
Macarena.
It's interesting, but the season just started. We don't know how it could go.
Yeah.
And for China sprint, we have the sprint in a few hours, really.
Oh,
I didn't watch sprint quali because I woke up and I was like, oh, sprint quali happened.
me and Junaid did, but I guess we won't spoil it for you.
No, you can spoil. I saw the results already, like Mercedes Max P8, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the usual suspects.
Usual suspects like Hamilton's up there, like with Lando.
Mercedes won too. Get used to that, guys. So get used to hearing that.
Get used to that. Yeah. But like Mercedes knows how to handle being on the top, which was a lot more scary than when McLaren were winning, because McLaren were like a shit show.
Yeah.
McLaren were like a mess.
Yeah. They were just against each other.
It was an emphatic win for the Mercedes. I have a question for you guys. Do you still think that they have a lot more to exploit in the coming races?
Like, are they still sandbagging?
Yeah.
I think we'll see more pace a bit. This is similar to, reminds me of 2023 Red Bull, when the race, Max and Checo took off, and then the engineers were like, there's no race happening. You have to stop pushing. And they were like 30 seconds ahead of the whole field. And they just coasted their way to victory. So I think we're going to see, until somebody starts pressuring the Mercedes, we're not going to see their full pace. And Russell's already on his second battery back for the season, even in Australia. Yeah, We'll see how it goes. That's what I read. But we'll
What do you
see.
guys think? I think there are a lot of teams out there and a lot of drivers who are objecting the new set of regulations and rules. Do you think mid-season या बीच में कुछ changes आ सकते हैं? Because I feel like this is
Yeah. FI is actively working to figure out the whole energy crisis. One of the solutions FIA proposed was just limiting the hybrid output to like 35%, something from 50, which makes the cars a lot more consistent but a lot slower. And that's it, like, why should an engineer? So this is like, it's a driver sport, sure, but it's an engineering sport first and foremost. Why are you limiting an engineering sport like that? Why is hybrid there in the first place? Let them build, like, put regulations on turbos, put regulations on engine capacity, right? Like, why are you putting regulations on hybrid power? I think like Formula E exists.
Actually, like
I
the
think
50
getting
split is
rid of
not okay, guys. I think it should be like more gasoline and less. Plus, I think they're using sustainable fuels.
They're already using sustainable fuels.
If they're worried about the environment, then hey, man, just put in some
Here's
sustainable
the thing.
fuel.
It's all virtue signaling. The cars are incredibly carbon neutral. All of their emissions comes from the excessive amount of flying they do around the world. And it's all money, right? They refuse to optimize the calendar for fuel burn. So it's all a joke. It's really just a joke. Like, that's why they should stop pushing for sustainability.
I think, I hope we don't get into trouble for this, but I mean, the whole sustainability thing is just, it's a hoax.
Sustainability is important, right? But then
I have a question to you guys relating to this. Can we shift to 100% synthetic fuel to get rid of these shitty batteries to lower the carbon footprint?
I mean, they're already on really strong biofuels. I think they basically have no emissions, these cars.
ये SAF है, sustainable aviation fuel from the aerospace वाला
SMS, sustainable motorsport fuel.
I don't think it's 100% synthetic.
It's not. It's biofuel. I haven't looked into this in a while. It's been a few years since I've read up on it. But already in 2023, they were very sustainable. And this year they introduced a new fuel.
They're working alongside the Aramco, or they devised specific fuel wherever you will not find it.
These cars are on like some of the most sustainable fuel and some of the most carbon, like emission-friendly fuel out there. Again, they're less than
let's get back to the race, Cassie. What are your hot takes with Mercedes is a rocket ship? Whether that's done.
I mean, the way the Ferrari can get off the line can be a headache for the other manufacturers that are not using the Ferrari power unit. I think Mercedes will have to figure out a way to cope that situation. अगर इस तरह का दोबारा चाइना में भी इनके साथ होता है तो it's gonna be a mess.
So इसी बहाने we'll get a bit of racing.
But look at the China straight, like they're gonna be out of battery so fast. The whole
I get the feeling
long turn one, it's just gonna be like downshifting and letting engine braking do all the work all the way through.
I think just Melbourne में भी होता है कि you'll get a bit of action in the start. उसके बाद जाके I guess the race is going to die down. You can pretty much predict what's going to happen. But let's see what happens.
I mean, that's Formula One for you. No race is 100% action. But we'll see. Season is developing.
ये था कि strategy और वो सारी चीजें a bit of racecraft और कुछ. I guess मुझे लग रहा है the podcast is becoming more about us, going on about how shitty the 2026 cars are. But I guess we can have several podcasts for that.
The cars are rapidly developing. I think let's keep a positive outlook.
Yeah, let's
we just want to enjoy racing. Like the overtakes were fun. Even if Max wasn't having fun, I had fun watching him. Just slingshot, dive bomb through the field. That was really fun.
That's fun. That's fun.
I think this is a good point to.
The first 15 laps were fun, but the remaining 2/3 of the race were really similar to how the last couple of Grand Prix have played out here at Melbourne, where overtaking isn't the premium, and strategy played a little bit of role as well.
I mean, the
So-
Ferrari strategy, right? They had 7 chances to pit.
safety car भी आई है लेकिन I think एक दो बार end पे तो it didn't play out in their favor Ferrari के ना
Yeah.
वो
You know,
I think they just missed out.
Kudos to they were relatively consistent with the safety car deployments.
Yeah. So
But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think we're just about at time. So
Sounds
what's one thing we hope to be talking about next podcast?
I was really surprised that they did not gamble with that. Did it change the outcome of the race? I think the answer is probably no. I think we still
Probably
would have
not.
seen.
Nah.
I think we still would
Leclerc
have
was
seen
fairly
Merc
confident he
1-2
wouldn't have
regardless.
been able to do it.
Yeah, but
So
would the
let's see.
gap have been more closer? Would there been more pressure on the Merc? The answer is yes, probably yes.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna see very fast which cars kinder to its tires, who can manage the battery. But I feel like I wish battery wasn't part of the equation here, but
yeah
it's
all
here
of
to
us.
stay.
It's here to stay.
For now.
I guess the conclusion is I think these cars are in development phase. Apart from like Mercedes, I think they've pretty much sorted everything out. So development की race है, तो over time let's see how everyone catches up, and I think it's going to get interesting over time.
Let's
So,
see how if Mercedes can pull away and get these regulations right. But
so
the thing
guys,
is, the top
sorry.
teams, all the top teams, nobody got it wrong, right?
Mhm.
Like Ferrari, pretty good, right? McLaren and Red Bull are behind. I think McLaren's a bit faster still. Let's see how they figure it out. They're
let's see.
developing, they're learning, and eventually somebody will start finding niches. And let's see what the hot engine compression tests do.
Mhm.
So
See you guys.
yeah,
So
And
I guess
I think
I think that's
yeah.
That's about it, guys. I think
That's it for episode 1.
This is the first episode, so I guess tune in for the next episode where we'll be talking about
if anybody wants to sponsor us, to plug something at the start and at the end, we're open for business.
you wanna sell something, to your chips,
As long as
your
it's not
or-
questionable, we'll advertise.
yeah, man. Just if you wanna, hey.
But this is the lunch group.
You want to sell your samosas, hey man, we got
It's like
Yeah, we need a
G10
niche.
Merkel's G10 Merkel's samosa stand. The lunch group podcast is brought to you by
Jameel
Quater
Jameel
TNT.
Sweets.
Quater TNT.
Jameel
Are you
Sweets,
looking to sponsor?
Jameel Sweets, man.
Jameel
Jameel
Sweets and
Sweets,
Quater
yeah.
TNT.
So अच्छा मैं story conclude करता हूँ तो बस just like have like 1-2 minutes रह गए. So this is pretty much going to be the format, guys. It's going to be us, going on about Formula One. So base debrief by the lunch group. So we are the lunch group, and I hope Jameel Sweets sponsors us. Jameel Sweets, hey, hope
that
you're
would be
listening.
nice. Another thing, I mean, we're recording this obviously like podcast instead of audio jayegi. And I think we should implement more like a turn system, but like a signaling your go back to talk system, so there's less talking over each other.
Yeah.
So
Guys,
I think
this is the first time, so I guess we're learning, and we'll try and make this better. So, all right, guys, it was nice. See you guys. In 2 days, because we got to do China as well.
I mean, double header next week. Kuch bhi nahi hai, so we'll have time.
We'll see.
I think जो अगला गैप है वो काफी ज्यादा है. It's around
Spring break आने वाली है, bro, because cancel हो रही है Saudi.
हाँ, बहरीन और सऊदी अरेबिया I guess cancel हो जाएंगी.
That's going to be interesting because that gives us like surprise development time,
Good for AMR.
Yeah, that's
maybe we can see the AMR 26 actually.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Alright, guys.
Yeah, like we were just at about like 31 minutes when we finished, 32 minutes. So I think
I'm gonna stop recording, right? Take it.